Welcome back to another episode of the Girl Stop Playing podcast. It's your favorite homegirl, Koereyelle, here to encourage you to stop playing with your potential and start working for what you want in life and in love. You already know that I believe you can make the money and you can get the honey. You can have it all as long as you are willing to work. So it's my goal to bring you the information and the conversation to help you do just that. You're tuned in to another soul-snatching solo sermon where you have the opportunity to get your mind right so that you can start your week off right. If you're tuning in to the podcast for the very first time, go ahead and subscribe, whether you are listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you might be listening, or if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, make sure you tap the subscribe button. Make sure you share this show, and if you enjoy it, go ahead and leave your girl a 5-star review. This week's episode is brought to you by my brand new position and paid media mentorship, where I am working alongside seasoned CEOs who have experience and they're ready to get more exposure. If you are sick and tired of relying on social media to make sales, you're in luck, because I am introducing you to a new way, okay? I'm gonna show you step by step how you can use my system to get paid by seamlessly making sales through podcasts, press opportunities, and by leveraging other people's platforms. For more information on how you can apply to the Position and Paid Media Mentorship, log on to positionedandpaid.com/apply. Now, y'all know that each week when I bring you these solo sermons, they're usually, a reflection of something I'm going through, something I've been through, or something I just, have on my spirit to share with you. And this week, of course, is no different. This week we are talking about the waiting game, okay? And let me just be the first to say that I'm probably like a little bit of a control freak. I can admit it, okay? I mean, I feel like most successful people, most people who are goal-oriented, who are actually bringing their vision boards to life, most of us have a little bit of control freak in us, meaning we want to be able to dictate what is happening in our lives. We want to be able to plan for the things that are going on, but y'all already know how that saying goes, like, we plan and God laughs. And if you're like me, you've probably learned this lesson on more than one occasion the hard way. And so this week I want to talk about the waiting game, because one of the things that I realized is that a lot of times we think that we're missing out on something. We think that life is not moving fast enough, or it's not happening on our timeline. It's not happening by our deadline. And a lot of times, even when you don't see the action, even when you don't see the activity in your life, God is acting on your behalf. He's working behind the scenes to bring things to life that you just got to be a little bit patient for. And so this week I have a question for you, okay? Are you waiting on God, or is God waiting on you? So I've been having some amazing conversations. If you tune in on Thursdays, then you know that I release a brand new interview every single week. We're talking to working women. We're talking to happy wives. We're talking to married couples. We're talking to business people, entrepreneurs, successful folks. And one of the commonalities that I hear time after time is that once they decided to step out on faith, truly, once they decided to stop talking about it and really be about it, once they decided to, take control and take ownership over their opportunities, that's when God really started to elevate their experiences. One thing that I want you to understand, though, is that you got to have enough faith to take the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. So again, if you're a control freak like me, you're like, I want to map it all out. I want to know what's going to happen next. I want to know the full picture before I start activating my faith. And I am here to encourage you. I am here to remind you. I am here to inspire you that a lot of times God is waiting on you to stop talking about it. He's waiting on you to show him that you really are about it, that you really are ready to act. And most of the time, those actions are truly an act of faith. It truly requires you to know without a shadow of a doubt that the things that you were designed to do, the things that you were born to do, the thing that you are being called to do is going to unfold perfectly based on God's timeline, but probably not based on your deadline. Most of the times, your miracle will happen sooner than you think because God is really just waiting on you to move. You know, we hope and we wish and we pray. I don't know how many times I've prayed the prayer of God, if you just get me through this thing, if you just show me the way, if you just connect the dots, if you just uncover what it is that you have for me, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. But what if you looking at God and God looking at you and you looking at God and God looking at you and he's waiting on you to make the first move? What if he's waiting on you to make the first move? Show that you truly have active faith before he starts blessing you. I believe you got to give God something to bless. So while you are in your season of waiting, I have 5 things that you can focus on, 5 things that you can work on, 5 things that you can do while you are in your waiting season so that when it's game time, you are ready to go, okay? So the first thing that you can do while you wait, the first thing that you should be doing, even if you don't know if this is a season of waiting, if it's a season of confusion for you, then you definitely have to start doing this. And that is praying for God to point you in the right direction. Week after week, solo sermon after solo sermon, I'm reminding you and encouraging you to start praying a prayer for clarity, to truly start asking God to provide you with clarity on the things that he is calling you to do. Because guess what? What I don't want you to do is waste your time. You're waiting, but you shouldn't be wasting, okay? I don't want you to waste your time. I don't want you to risk trying to get it right based on your own understanding, because a lot of times our understanding is jaded. Our understanding is based on our perception, and your perception is not reality, okay? A lot of times our understanding and the plans that we come up with, they're imperfect. And so instead of wasting your time, spinning the block, going in circles, trying to figure out what you should be doing based on what you think, spend some time getting close to God. Spend some time praying to God for him to give you the directions. Okay, allow him to call the plays. You run the plays, he calls the plays. So while you are in waiting, spend time getting clear. Spend time asking for clarity, because guess what? Confusion will cost you. You can literally, instead of waiting, you can literally start wasting your time because you're trying to do things your way. And again, doing things your way is literally limited to your experiences, your expertise, the things that you've been through, the thoughts that you are coming up with, which a lot of time are rooted in dysfunction, are rooted in confusion, are rooted in a lack mindset. And so instead of wasting your time, pray for God to give you some clarity on what it is that he's calling you to do. So that's number 1. The second thing that you can spend time doing while you are in your waiting season is meditating. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, you just said pray. What's the difference? Well, in my opinion, praying is you requesting things of God. It's you talking to God. It's you showing gratitude. It's you being in the speaking seat, I'll say, okay? It's you doing the talking. It's you doing the communicating. Most of the time when we pray, we're doing a whole lot of begging. We're putting in our requests, right? We got prayer requests all of the time. Meditation, on the other hand, is you doing the listening. It's you getting quiet for long enough to hear the answers to your prayer. It's you getting quiet for long enough to truly tap in to what God is trying to tell you, what God is trying to communicate to you. And so praying is part of it, but meditation allows you to create space for inspiration from the source. Okay, so instead of you just running your mouth, instead of you just making a bunch of requests, instead of you just praying for God and wishing and hoping for all of the things, meditation allows you to get direction. Meditation allows you to truly tap in to source, getting quiet long enough, quieting your mind for long enough so that you can start to see the miracles that are probably already around you. So again, the first thing you can do while you are in waiting is pray. Pray for clarity. Pray for understanding for what it is that you're going through, what it is that you're waiting for. Because you might be in your waiting season. You might be playing the waiting game, but you don't even know what you're waiting for. So if you don't know what you're waiting for, if you're clueless about what you're waiting for, how are you going to know when it shows up? How are you going to know that how do you know that it's not already here? Second thing you can do while you are in waiting is meditate. Really carve out time every single day to get quiet so that you can get closer to God, so that you can truly tap in, so that you can get those inspired thoughts. When I really do what I'm supposed to do, because, it's easy to say meditate every day and then life comes at you fast, right? You get busy. But when I really truly do what I'm meant to do, when I really sit down and carve out time every single day to get quiet, to quiet my thoughts, to quiet my mind, to quiet my spirit so that I can get inspiration from source, I just be feeling like I know stuff. It's like, how did I know that answer? How did I know what was about to happen? How do I just have this intuition? Meditation truly strengthens your intuition. Okay? So pray to God to point you in the right direction. Spend some time meditating so that you can get direct inspiration from source. The third thing that I want you to do while you wait, I want you to release toxic ties that are no longer serving you. Because sometimes God is waiting on you to separate so that you can elevate. You might have somebody around you that is literally blocking your blessings. God is like, I got some blessings for you, but until you get rid of that baggage, until you release those burdens, I'm not gonna bless no mess. So if there are people, if there are habits, if there are thoughts that you are consistently and continuously allowing to take up your space, it's time for you to release it. It's time for you to release it. How many solo sermons have we had about releasing? So much can be freed up for you when you just spend time being intentional about what you are releasing, what you no longer have time for, what you have outgrown. Okay, so release the toxic ties that are no longer serving you. You don't want to take things that are no longer serving you into your next season. You want to release that baggage. You want to let go of those burdens so that when God gives you those blessings, you have enough space to hold on to them. You have enough space to receive them. The fourth thing that you can do while you wait is rest. You want to make sure that you use your time wisely to rest your mind, your body, and your spirit. Because listen, once God says go, you don't want anything to stop you. You don't want anything to slow you down. So use this waiting season while you're playing the waiting game. Use this time to rest up. Use this time to re-energize. Okay, use this time to rebuild your spirit so that when it is go time, you're ready. There's so much power in rest, even if it feels like you're slowing down. Sometimes you got to slow down so that you can speed up. And last but not least, the fifth thing that you can spend your time doing while you are in waiting is give thanks. Even when you're feeling frustrated, even if you've been waiting so long that you're starting to lose faith, even if you've been waiting so long that you're starting to think that God forgot about you, even when you've been waiting so long that you get on Instagram and you think everybody else got it going on, everybody else's prayers are being answered, and you looking around like, God, I thought I was your girl. What is going on? Even in those moments, you have to find time, find energy, find a reason to be thankful. Because having an attitude of gratitude and being able to find joy, even when you're frustrated, will bring you more to be grateful for. I truly, truly believe that Joy attracts joy. The law of attraction is really real, y'all. So what you put out is what you're going to get back. So if you're spending your time frustrated, if you're spending your time complaining, if you're spending your time thinking about all of the things that you're lacking, all of the things that you wish you had, all of the things that everybody else has, and you don't understand why they got it and you ain't got it, if you spend your time in that mindset, you're literally going to attract more situations, more opportunities to be mad. Okay, so I'm encouraging you, even while you're waiting, even when you feel like things are not working out, even when you feel like God has forgotten about you, even when you're ready for that next thing to happen and you're wondering why it hasn't happened yet, find something that you can be grateful for, because you are living at least one of your past prayers. There is something right now in your life that you are experiencing that you once prayed for. So every single day, find something to be grateful for. Every single day, find something to thank God for. And the more that you are thankful for, the more you will have to be thankful for. The more opportunities you'll come across to give thanks. The more blessings you'll come across to be grateful for. So while you're playing the waiting game, please trust and believe that God didn't forget about you. Please trust and believe that we go through seasons in life, okay? Sometimes it is sowing season and sometimes it's harvest season, but it's usually not in the same season that you sow the seeds that you actually reap the benefits, that you see the fruits of those seeds. And so while you are in the planting season, while you are in the sowing season, pray to God to point you in the right direction, so that once this season is over, once you are reaping the benefits, once you are seeing the harvest, you have no doubt about what you should be doing. Meditate so that you can create space for inspiration from source, so that you're not confused. Confusion will cost you. Okay, you're looking for clarity, and meditation helps to provide that clarity, because it literally gives you an opportunity to sit still and get clear. Make sure that you're spending time getting real with yourself about what you need to release, whether it's people, whether it's thoughts, whether it's habits, whether it's your environment. Figure out what toxic ties you have still been holding on to that may be holding you back. Okay? And then don't be afraid to rest. Don't feel like you have to fill every single moment of every single day with some type of activity. Let your mind rest. Let your body rest. Let your spirit rest for long enough so that you can tap into source. So that when it is time for you to walk into your next season, you got all the energy you need to go after your goals, to go after the things that God has created you to do. And last but not least, make sure you have an attitude of gratitude. There is something that you are currently experiencing that you once prayed for. So even if you don't have all the things on your wish list, even if your vision board, the vision that you have for your life, does not match the current view of your life, there is still something that you can tap into to be grateful for. Something that you're experiencing, something that you have, some relationship, right? Some connection, some position that you have right now that you once prayed for. So spend your time, spend your energy, give your attention to all of the goodness so that you can attract even more to be grateful for. I hope that you are feeling inspired, encouraged, and even if you're in your waiting season, I hope that you know that God is not done with you yet. Okay? I love you. See you on the next episode.